Thank y'all. Welcome back to What She Said Sports. Let's just get into it. So yesterday, I said if Shedeur gets injured in Philly, meaning the game, it's not a coincidence. And today, Shedeur got injured, but it was in practice. And it's an oblique injury, and he has to have an MRI to understand the severity. It could be mild, it could be severe, it could be light. Now, remember, Luke Floria had a severe injury and he was waived. So you would expect that if Shedeur has a severe oblique injury, he would be waived, and that would be a cause to waive him. Then if it's mild, he's just going to miss the game. If it's light, he can play in the game. So an MRI is going to determine what his next move is. But I will tell you this. The first thing I watched today was Kevin Stefanski's press conference. Kevin Stefanski mentioned every quarterback and never said anything about Shedeur. Not once. Daniel Oyefuse started with the questions. And, he answered Daniel and he said, he was like cutting him off, Daniel, it'll be a day or two before I can know that. So Kevin Stefanski knows he's under the gun. The Cleveland Browns know they're under the gun. In fact, the title of Kevin Stefanski's press conference today was "We're Obsessed with Player Development." There's two things there. There's two things. We're obsessed, number one, because the media is obsessed with Shedeur. We're obsessed with player development. They haven't been developing Shedeur. So Cleveland is going on the front. Last night, I told you they were trotting out Albert Breer, who did a hit piece on Shedeur already. So today, again, people are talking about that. The media is still standing on Cleveland's head. So now the entire NFL is surrounding Cleveland, and they want Shedeur. So what? They don't want him to succeed. We talked about that. Everybody's in on it. When I say everybody's in on it, everybody with decision-making ability is in on it. And while this is happening, and everybody's looking at what's happening with Shedeur, how Kevin Stefanski seems to be the leader on the ground attack against Shedeur Sanders, holding him back with Kevin Stefanski's weird obsession with Dylan Gabriel, who's unproven. Shedeur don't play in this game. I'm good. This is where you step back and you let them do what they want to do. See, there comes a time where you do what you could do. You do everything you could do. And Shedeur has. He went out there. He went to practice. He was early. He stayed late. In the first game, he balled out, showed he was an NFL quarterback, pro-ready quarterback. All Kevin Stefanski, it has been showing you is I don't give a damn how good he is. I don't want him. He wasn't my pick. What did the owner tell you? The owner said it. He wasn't my pick. Kevin Stefanski is showing it. See, he can't say it. The owner couldn't say it either. Don't know why the hell he said it, but the owner said it. Kevin Stefanski is showing it. He's not my pick. I don't give a damn how good he is. If this were a normal business, if the Cleveland Browns were a normal business, a corporation which is made to follow organizational practice and misconduct laws, this, that, and the other workplace rules and regulations, Kevin Stefanski would be suspended without pay, and an investigation would ensue to all of his actions, and he will be fired after that investigation is done. Kevin Stefanski does not have the same protections that the owner has. See, nobody's going to fire the owner. A congressional hearing is needed for that, or fans got to walk out. But Kevin Stefanski thinks he's an owner because he's doing what the owner wants. Well, let's see who's going to protect him. Because Kevin Stefanski is intentionally holding Shedeur back. He's intentionally showing you he's not my pick, which means he hasn't been developing him. So they try to take a little credit for it. They want to put it out there. Everybody sees through Kevin Stefanski, while the owner has hidden off somewhere and nobody's talking about him. Kevin Stefanski should be fired ASAP. He's supposed to be a coach. You're supposed to create a nurturing environment. You're supposed to care about the well-being of your players. Shedeur didn't get any reps today. And people were confused on why it is he didn't get any reps. It's not confusing. Kevin Stefanski doesn't want to develop Shedeur, but Kevin Stefanski is not the GM, so he can't trade Shedeur. That's for Andrew Berry to do. And what did we see Andrew Berry do after that game? Run over there to Shedeur like he was the proud uncle, and this is his nephew that came home balling out in college. I said last night, if Shedeur Sanders caught up in some internal politics within the Browns organization, I said it would be a matter of time before they would start pointing fingers at each other. The owner came out and did it first. It wasn't me. I didn't want him. Thank you for clarifying. We know you colluded with your buddies. We get it. Kevin Stefanski showing you I didn't want him. My pick is Dylan Gabriel. He is really wanting to die on a hill behind a third string pick. Kevin Stefanski wants to die on this hill. I hope he go ask Dan Lanning for a damn job when he get fired, because he gonna get fired. It might not be by this owner voluntarily, but the pressure is coming. Because the Cleveland Browns have chosen to openly collude against the best player on their damn roster. Nobody told them Shedeur had to be QB1. What fans and the media have said is he is QB1. It's up to you if you want to make him QB2. Nobody will probably complain because we know Flacco has the experience. But no, Kevin Stefanski think, he caught up in his head. He think, I'm doing what the owner want to do. I'm going to get an attaboy. You going to get fired, bro. You're going to get fired. There are workplace rules and regulations that have to be adhered to, and you are not in compliance, Kevin Stefanski. You are supposed to be developing your quarterbacks, plural. You are not supposed to be choosing to die on a hill behind a third string QB because you play golf with his college coach. Dan Lanning. Kevin Stefanski is choosing to openly hold back, not develop Shedeur Sanders. If you don't want him to play, good. You make sure Dylan get out there. Because you need to keep it a buck. What you did for Shedeur, what you did to Shedeur with that 4th and 1, that play that was supposed to hurt him, I tell you what, let me see you call a 4-1 against Philly's defense. Kevin Stefanski and the Cleveland Browns have chosen to openly collude against Shedeur Sanders to restrict his upward mobility because they don't want him to be their quarterback. Then why the hell did you draft him, and why haven't you traded him? You going to stop playing in his face, or you going to go to war with the fans? And the NFL want to take themselves overseas. You're going to be at war with the world. And understand who the global majority is. Understand it. You're not going to get away with this. The NFL powers that be want to calm down. And they want to surround Kevin Stefanski because he's doing what they did to Shedeur in the draft. Because he has the courage. That's some Klan shit. Shedeur is in hostile enemy territory. Being hurt in practice is a saving grace because they desperate. They so hell-bent on holding him back that they willing to put Dylan out there, throw him in the river, and he ain't even damn ready. There was a lot of drop passes today in practice. If you don't want him, trade him. You have absolutely no right to abuse him, to mistreat him, to collude against him. Collusion is illegal in the United States of America. The Sherman Antitrust Act, which means Cleveland needs to also be sued for the same damn thing the NFL is being sued for, collusion. Because they've been getting away with it. They want to keep getting away with it. And now the NFL want to show its powers that we're standing against Shedeur too. Then, goddamn it, you shouldn't have never drafted him. But Shedeur Sanders is a 5th round pick only because the owners tried to restrict his movement and took him off the goddamn board. That is illegal. That is collusion. Reminder, collusion is illegal in the United States and is also against the CBA in the NFL. But they want to walk around with the who gonna check me boo attitude. You gonna see. You gonna see. See, all of the powers that could come down on them are probably busy doing other things, so they're not worried about it. So they're emboldened. Shedeur is in hostile enemy territory. And enemy number one on the ground is Kevin Stefanski. He don't want to see this young man succeed. How far will he go to hold him back? His 4th and 1 play, allowing Shedeur to get sacked with number 74, blowing his coverage in the first quarter with 8 minutes and 12 seconds left, tells you he will allow him to get hurt. I told you if Shedeur get hurt in Philly, it's not a coincidence. This is for his protection. You got to look at this with a broader lens. Shedeur Sanders is in hostile enemy territory. And Kevin Stefanski has chosen to die on the hill with an unproven third-string quarterback. I don't even care why. He has an allegiance to Dillon Gabriel. I don't give a damn if he played golf every Tuesday with Dan Lanning. It just proves he's not doing his job as a head coach in the NFL. It proves he should already have been fired. But he just going to continue to turn things into a hot mess, just like the New York Giants did in the damn draft. Shedeur is in a hostile environment. He deserves the right to go to work in an environment that is harassment-free, that is non-toxic. That is not where he is. If they had HR in the NFL, they should have stepped in by now. Kevin Stefanski should be fired. He's not doing his job. He's waging a damn war against Shedeur Sanders because he doesn't want Shedeur Sanders to be the franchise QB, the starting QB, because Shedeur wasn't his pick. Maybe he don't like Andrew Berry. Maybe they don't like Andrew Berry being in such a high-ranking position that the owner will come out and throw Andrew Berry, thinking he throwing Andrew Berry under the bus. He was Andrew's pick. I didn't want him. Now Kevin Stefanski is showing it. So I was like, okay, if Shedeur didn't practice today, when the hell did he get hurt? So it says Shedeur Sanders was injured. He has an oblique injury. And it says he was held out during the remainder of practice. So he started practicing. And I heard people chirping and saying he wasn't getting any reps, that they weren't throwing to him. Passes were being dropped. The O-line wasn't doing what it's supposed to do. And then he gets injured. That means enough is enough. You've done enough. I got it from here. He doesn't need to play in that game in Philly. They don't want him. They don't value him. Cool. Do it your damn self then. But I suggest you trade me. I suggest you trade me ASAP. But maybe they're going to find a way to put him on waivers, which is exactly the transaction report that was attached to what? His email. Everybody was shocked that Luke was put on waivers. He could rejoin the team. Why wouldn't you just rehab him? You elevated him for 4th string, damn near the first. So Daniel reported from camp today. He made sure to let people know, Shedeur didn't get a lot of passes and then Shedeur got injured. It's a blessing. Let them do what they want to do. When people tell you, I don't want you, then move on out the way. And let them do. You did all you could do. You can't do nothing else. They don't want to win with you. Screw them. Screw them. They want to hold you for hostage and bury you on the depth chart, enjoy your paycheck, and get to know your players and stay there because maybe it's for your own benefit. Because Kevin Stefanski is so hostile towards Shedeur Sanders, there's no telling what the hell he would do to make sure Shedeur Sanders doesn't elevate above his precious Dillon Gabriel. And I'm serious. I told y'all yesterday. Did I not? Who heard me say yesterday? Who heard me say yesterday? Shedeur better be careful. It's not above them to hurt him. That 4th and 1 play was a signal. We'll let you get hurt. 74 blew his coverage. So Daniel was saying 2 days after receiving the most reps in practice, Shedeur Sanders was the only Browns QB who didn't take reps in team drills on day 1 of joint practice with Eagles. So let's go. We got a timeline here. 2 days after receiving his most reps in practice. So after he, got the most reps finally, like 14, he was even with Dillon on the units they worked out with, right? They were working with the 2s and the 3s. He got like 14 reps. So 2 days after that, where it seemed like things were going to get better, because people came to the comments talking about, I'm glad I'm seeing things get better. I'm like, what you looking at? You can't, people don't change overnight. not those hard-hearted, angry hearts that don't want him to succeed. They don't change overnight. I told y'all. These people mean business. Shedeur is in hostile enemy territory. It says the Browns QB Shedeur Sanders, who didn't take any reps in team drills on day one of joint practice. So he didn't get any reps. They just withheld reps. So why? Are you trying to torment him? If he just had the most reps and played the most games, why not? Then it says an update. Browns Shedeur Sanders injured his oblique throwing early in practice and was held out for the remainder of practice. So he practiced. He didn't get no reps. He got injured and he gone. That's the timeline. The remainder of practice, he was throwing early in practice. So either he got injured before practice started and then he didn't get no reps. And then he was held out for the remainder of practice. I don't know why he wouldn't get no reps. I would think if before practice he got injured, they would just say that. You know, we talked about context, right? We talked about trying to make things worse or dress them up that they're not as bad as they are. So I would imagine if he was working out, warming up, he wouldn't have used the word practice. He would have said while warming up with the throw, Shedeur injured his oblique. That's not what he said. He said practice, which meant practice had started. So in practice, Shedeur was throwing early, but he didn't get no reps with the team. So he was just out there trying to stay warmed up, you know, so he don't end up with that same type of, you know, shoulder thing with the rotator cuff where it gets cold and you start and you stop it. He didn't get no reps. But they're obsessed with player development, not his player development. They don't look at him as a member of their team. Huntley got reps today. Flacco, Pickett, Dillon. Those are the 4 quarterbacks they have. Maybe they're ready to move on from Shedeur. And maybe that's what needs to happen. Because if not, they're going to hurt him. So Kevin Stefanski should be fired. He is the person leading the ground effort, holding up progress on the ground for the Cleveland Browns. He has a 40-44 record. He is sub 500. He is subpar. And he's running around acting like the good witch. I can do what I want to do. I can do what I want to do. Just being evil, right? He wasn't my pick. I don't want him. It's like he caught up in a power struggle with his GM. Kevin Stefanski seems to be caught up in a power struggle because Andrew Berry went and picked Shedeur. Don't know how that happened because he wasn't on the board. So that's a whole nother conversation that we've already had. Kevin Stefanski should be fired for choosing to die on a hill, to neglect the duties of his job as a head coach in a professional competitive sports league, to coddle a third string QB that has not proven a damn thing when it comes to a live game situation, even though Shedeur has. So maybe somebody ought to go investigate why the hell it is Kevin Stefanski is openly colluding and discriminating against Shedeur Sanders to the point of trying to get him hurt in a 4th-and-1 scenario where number 74 blew coverage, which led to a sack by who? Carolina's first team. So they weren't giving him any reps. They're ostracizing him. He hasn't been suspended for anything because they would have told us, like they keep telling us about Myles Garrett and his damn speeding tickets. But they have players with domestic violence issues and say nothing. Myles Garrett spoke up and was not afraid to embrace Shedeur Sanders. So Myles Garrett is now under attack. Yeah, he got a speeding ticket. Do they talk about other people's speeding tickets? Or just people that seemingly like Shedeur? So Kevin Stefanski is around there ruling with fear, letting everybody know, I want you to gravitate towards Dylan Gabriel. What did Gage say? – Everybody naturally gravitates toward Shedeur. So Kevin Stefanski is trying to rule with an iron fist. Shout to the mountaintops. I want y'all to like and gravitate towards Dylan. He's my pick. He's third string. The reason Flacco is sharing a locker with Jerry Jeudy is because they know Flacco going to be first string. So for Stefanski to be waging war on Shedeur because he liked Dylan, Stefanski should be fired immediately, even more so than yesterday. He has created this dust up. The owner already said Shedeur was my pick. He didn't tell Shedeur to get the hell out, did he? He didn't tell him, you're not going to play for me, did he? So why is Kevin Stefanski working so hard to hold Shedeur back? Fire Kevin Stefanski. So this is how practice was summed up today. Let's take a look at it. Oops, hold on 1 second. Let's take a look. Daniel Oyefu say again, reports what happens. It says, first thoughts, leaving day one of Browns. Eagles joint practices was, I thought, both Cleveland offensive and defensive lines held up fairly well. So the offensive line and the defensive line. So Cleveland's offensive line held well. The defensive line held up well against probably the best O-line and D-line in the NFL. Facts. That's why this game was so pivotal, right? Because of who it is, right? It's the Super Bowl winning champs. I think Gilly was out there at practice today. They made a big deal out of it. They made a big event of it in Philly. We wanted to see Shedeur ball out because we knew he would. We knew it would be a good contest. Jalen Hurts, Shedeur Sanders. But Kevin Stefanski has decided to insert himself, and the owner has allowed it, which is why Haslam needs to be forced to sell and Stefanski needs to be fired. You can pick whatever order it come in. But see those two right there? Those two are the reason that there is so much incompetence in Cleveland. It's time to clean house in Cleveland. It said it wasn't a crisp practice at all for the offense, but I thought that was more indicative of the pass catchers dropping passes and being able to get open against the stout secondary. So they weren't catching passes and they couldn't hold their own against Philly's secondary. On defense, I think concerns about the Browns' cornerback depth were highlighted today. So they're going to struggle on defense against Philly. Mind you, this just practice. People say you get a lot out of practice, seemingly more than you get in the game, right? So Stefanski was basically saying Shedeur was going to get a lot more reps inside of the game. So maybe that explains why Shedeur didn't get any reps outside of practice, which is ridiculous. And why would Huntley, who's short-term attempt, why would he get 4 reps? Are you going to play him? And if so, what the hell is Flacco and Pickett working out for? So it's like they got Huntley to intentionally make traffic to justify not giving Shedeur reps. So you don't want him to practice and be good, but you want to put him in a game scenario, especially with a 4th and 1. Malfeasance. Corruption. So notice the offense, a lot of drop passes and can't get open. So that means they're going to struggle on offense. They obviously don't have no plays to outplay Philly. They're going to struggle on offense. People want Dylan. It's time for Dylan to show improve. It's time for Kevin Stefanski's pet to show improve. And that's not a knock against Dylan. That's a knock against Kevin Stefanski having a weird obsession. They're not obsessed with player development. Kevin Stefanski is obsessed with Dylan Gabriel. Maybe somebody need to investigate why. Because something is wrong there. You have 6 damn quarterbacks, and you obsessed with the 3rd string. The dude in the middle that can't do nothing for you. Because there's 2 in front of him. And hasn't proven anything. So he done turned him into a pet. He don't respect Dylan Gabriel. He done made him a damn pet. Oh, I just want to see you around. You get the hell out of here with that. This is a competitive sports league. And this is where the NFL going to end up in war with its fans. Behind Shedeur Sanders. 71,000 showed up for a preseason game. And if he was playing in this game, how many you they was going to be sold out? When people find out Shedeur ain't playing, because I already said when I was like, Shedeur got hurt. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to watch Tampa because, whoever else playing at 1 o'clock, Falcons, somebody, I'm moving on. I'm not spending an iota of time on the Cleveland Browns if Shedeur is not the quarterback. They were trash before he got there, and they want to continue to be trash. Let them do it. This is where, Shedeur, you have done everything that you needed to do. You let God do the rest. You let God do the rest. He going to part the Red Sea, and he might part you right out of there. And that's what needs to happen, because these people are choosing to be ignorant. They are choosing to be willfully incompetent. You are too good for an organization that does not want to win, but wants to have pets on the goddamn roster. You are no one's pet. So Shedeur Sanders was seen talking to Jalen Hurts. And I can only imagine because why? Jalen Hurts can tell Shedeur firsthand. Don't worry about these people, bro. They got issues. Y'all know when Jalen was in Philly, his coach, early on in his career, how many years ago was that? His coach berated him on camera, on the sideline, in front of everybody. And yeah, things have gotten better. But Jalen continues to be dragged. But you know what? He don't listen to the haters. So I'm sure Jalen's messaging to Shedeur is God sent. You gonna survive in this league, bro. They gonna move on to somebody else to hate. Facts, which is why Lenore Sellers should have stayed in school for 2 more years. But then we got Caden coming out. But he probably ain't gonna get drafted high, so that's good. He'll go to a decent team. But Lenore Sellers is the one they setting their sights on. And they want him to go to Cleveland at number 1. They want him to rise up magically from 5 to 1. But Shedeur can't even go from 5 to 4. People that's calling Shedeur a 5th string QB are choosing to ignore that Shedeur Sanders is a 1st string QB that the owners took off the board and let fall, which was cruelty meant to humiliate. And now they want to keep kicking on him because they couldn't lock him out of the draft. Did they really think when they were forced to draft him that they were just going to beat up on him in peace? That they were going to abuse him in peace? That they were going to torment? That they were going to harass him in peace? Shame on you, because you got the world watching now. I told y'all the other day, these people don't know when to quit. The Cleveland Browns, I told y'all the other day, what did I say? Kevin Stefanski is hard-headed. And you know what that means. That means a person has talked to you, has warned you, has shown you that you are wrong, and they showed you the right way to go. But you want to be hard-headed. And not only do you want to be hard-headed, you want to try to bully Shedeur. You want to go get Tyler Huntley that you don't give 2 scraps about and put him out there and give him reps while Shedeur is out there. But Shedeur is not suspended for anything because you sure would have told us. This is the hill that Kevin Stefanski has chosen to die on. So I hope Dan Lanning has a job for him. There are going to be people that make it their mission to make sure that Kevin Stefanski is booted out of there. So this conversation between Jalen and Shedeur is a godsend. Hell, the oblique injury is perfect timing. Because if your coach can't even mention your name, shake your hand, compliment you, but other coaches can, and they're willing to set you up to get sacked on a 4th and 1, it's good you don't play in this game. They think they don't want you. They don't care whether they need you or not. Then let them move forward with this contest without you. If that MRI come back and say you can't play, then you can't play. But if you get the opportunity to play and it's a light oblique injury that can heal by Saturday, because it's got time. We have time. Today is what? Wednesday. We still got Thursday and Friday. And don't let no doctor give you an injection for pain because you're going to be Tyrod Taylor. Don't do it. Just stay on out. You don't need nothing. You don't want nothing. Let them do them. They fighting you, telling you, we don't want you. Then go do you then. Let them go do them. Look at this oblique as guys sidelining you if it says you can't play. And if you can play, you better keep your head on a swivel. And if he call a 4-1, get the hell out of there. Don't even try to execute the play. Just throw the damn ball away in that damn play. And if you do it again, just keep doing the same thing. This is where you understand. If you are held out because of an injury and you can't play after they have chosen to ignore you, that is God's love for you. You have done everything you can do. Jalen, whatever he said, take heed. He know what he's talking about. They trying to trash him to this day. What do y'all have in common? Y'all are black elite starting quarterbacks. Y'all should all be in a group chat talking to each other, encouraging each other, because all they trying to do is hold you down. There is no reason why Kevin Stefanski should be openly colluding and willing to die on a hill behind a third-string quarterback, because that's what he wanted to do, because he played golf with his college coach. Who risk it all over a third-string quarterback that has not even been proven to abuse a person that is obviously the franchise quarterback, but they don't want that? You got a lot of I don't wants. You got a lot of I don't wants for a competitive sports league. They are openly and actively colluding. Shedeur is in enemy territory. Kevin Stefanski is leading the ground effort against him. Somebody better protect him and get him out of there. So I'm happy that Jalen was talking to Shedeur. He need to hear whatever Jalen got to say, because what did I tell y'all? After the draft, Shedeur got to learn one thing. This is not about your father. This is not about your father. You see Coach Prime anywhere? Does anybody really think that this is about Coach Prime at this point? No, it's not. It never was. This is about Kevin Stefanski and people like him not wanting Shedeur to be QB1. Even though he could win, they are showing you the lengths they will go through to prevent winning. That's the sole reason for being there. This is some Klan shit. This is that same type of racism that I told y'all about, that I experienced at the age of 11, that I witnessed, that actually had a negative effect on me. It's the same thing. This is what I'm talking about. They don't give a damn. Dylan is their pet. They don't respect him. They don't respect him. They are using him to block Shedeur, because it means more to keep Shedeur in the back than it does to win games. They must think they holding him on the back of the bus. This ain't no damn bus. This is a competitive sports league. Wake up. They are not living in reality. I told y'all they were trying to execute Jim Crow in the NFL. This is it right here. We don't give a damn what you can do for us. If we can't use you, we don't want you. They can't use Shedeur. They can't make him look stupid. They pick people they think they could use. They pick people they think they can make him submit. I heard they call Tony, who they said is an eccentric teammate, he just being himself. They call him Crazy Tony. So you see Shedeur rallied around Tony. See, people don't know what they're looking at sometimes. Shedeur is not that guy that's just going to let you beat up on anybody. It's a lot of us like that. And that's who's showing up for Shedeur. I told y'all, the NFL is in a tug of war. You got the Falcons out here running after black fans, and you got the Cleveland Browns shunning and holding back and trying to destroy the careers of black elite franchise QBs because they don't want a black franchise QB. But now they're going to run out here and get somebody with their first pick. They thought they was going to get Arch Manning. The Mannings took that off the table. They thought they were going to get Cade Klubnik. Have no heard no more about that. They knew they weren't getting Nussmeier. I don't know who the other guy is, but now apparently they're magically going to get another black quarterback in the first round. Something they've never had. And the way they treat Shedeur Sanders tells you why they've never picked a black quarterback in the first round. Because they don't respect black elite starting quarterbacks. And now they want to go get who? The number 5 projected pick for a QB, the 5th QB off the board, who probably going to be a second rounder? Because if you the 5th QB off the board, you ain't going in the first round. Now he going to magically rise up like Jackson Dart to the number 1 spot, Lenore Sellers. And if his family over there celebrating and calculating dollar signs, well, you better wake the hell up. Because Cleveland got the number 1 pick. The same team that's doing what they did to Shedeur. And if they can convince you that this is about Coach Prime and we don't have nothing to do with that, then come on in here and get your whipping too. Come on in here. This is some Klan shit. I'm from the South. I know it when I see it. That's what this is. He said he was a servant leader. How do you describe yourself in your work bio as a servant leader of the Cleveland Browns? You are a damn employee. You might be a servant leader in the Klan, but you a goddamn employee, and you gonna find out. These people with their plantation and their Klan fantasies, that's all this is. That's all this is. And Kevin is that guy that feels like he gonna get a pat on the head and not experience any consequences for being a servant leader to a workplace. All he doing is exposing them. That's it. The same way Haslam exposed the collusion. We know he wasn't your pick. I said he wasn't your pick, but y'all really had people fooled until he came out, just like Boomer Esiason. Nah, that wasn't going to happen. It wasn't, because he wasn't on the board. Shedeur is a first-round pick that the owners took off the board. Shedeur is a first-round elite, first-round projected by the NFL itself, that the owners manipulated the draft and restricted his movement, his employment, by taking him off the board and letting him fall. Y'all want to give Andrew Berry the credit? I suggest you go listen to his post-draft press conference. He was too expensive for the first round. I wonder who told him that. But now you got him for the 4th round. Or you got him in the 5th round for $4 million. And Kevin Stefanski using him as a damn piñata. Somebody better do something. Not playing in the game is a saving grace. They want to do it without you, let them do it. If they fans don't want to hold this damn organization accountable, then bye. We out. Because we told you. We happy to ride with you. We happy to chill with you. If we cheer for Shedeur, he plays for the Browns, we're cheering for the Browns. But if y'all don't want to hold your organization accountable, then we going to give it right back to you, and you can do what the hell you want to do with it when our guy's gone. If y'all don't want to stand up against this tyranny, because that's what the hell it is. If you don't want to stand up against this discrimination, against this racism, against this Klan shit, then keep it. Then keep it. You can have it. Do it your damn self. He too good for you anyway. But you couldn't appreciate it, and you couldn't appreciate a new fan base that was truly cheering for the Browns, that you had to try to separate yourself. Then keep it. We don't want it. He have options. I don't give a damn if it ain't in the NFL. The NFL only drafted Shedeur because they know if he went to Canada, we was going too. But they're going to lose this fight. Some fights take longer than others. You might have won the battle, but goddamn it, you're going to lose the war because you choosing to wage war with a child of God. If you don't know why people like him, that's why, because we see it. Maybe you can't see it because you don't want to see it. The NFL want to go to war with its fans because it wants to hold back black elite starting quarterbacks and doesn't want their numbers to grow to 20 out of 32. Well, if you ask AI, it's going to happen anyway. So let me see you kick him out the goddamn league because he got options. All you're going to do is set him free. Threaten me with a goddamn good time. Draft and destroy. That's what they thought they were going to do to Shedeur in peace. There's so many black quarterbacks that have come through here that they just every year make them a journeyman to prevent them from taking the starting job. I I said it in spaces and they might not have, they don't know me. They probably didn't know what the hell I was talking about. This is what the hell I'm talking about. And because they've been getting away with it, they got away with it in the draft. Cleveland think they gonna get away with it. But all they doing is telling us, oh yeah, the whole NFL is against him. Well, let's see how that work out. This is why I didn't buy that 12 jersey. Hell no. And I'm not mad at y'all that bought it. I know y'all supporting Shedeur. But Cleveland don't respect Shedeur as a human being. They don't respect him. They see melanin and they have a problem with it. They want to be stuck in the past, then let them live in it. Shedeur is too good for that. Shedeur is the best quarterback they have, but because he's black, they want to go get another one. And another one. And another one. Which is why they've had 40 take snaps as starters. Egregious is not a strong enough word, but this is some Klan shit. Anytime you have the entire NFL rallying against you at a period in time when black quarterbacks are getting ready to take over as the majority of the starters, as hard and as long as the NFL been trying to hold back black quarterbacks, period. And y'all, the black quarterbacks are so damn good, y'all done had the audacity to not even be the majority of the numbers and the quantity of quarterbacks. Y'all have had the audacity to elevate to be the majority. This many, out of this many, to take over at who we see throwing the football every damn week. Y'all have had the audacity to, despite them holding you back, banning you from becoming quarterbacks, switching you off to wide receivers, saying you mentally inept, even with them paying $1 billion lawsuit for Race Norman, they still doing it. This time it's not with concussions. This time it's with the quarterback position. What you're seeing Kevin Stefanski do openly in public, what they've been doing behind the scenes. Kevin Stefanski is exposing everything by choosing to turn Dylan Gabriel into a pet for the sole purposes of playing keep away with QB1 for Shedeur Sanders, so you don't see him ball out every Sunday against Jalen Hurts, Pat Mahomes, Jordan Love, Malik Willis, Kyler Murray, Geno Smith. Cam Ward, Caleb Williams, CJ Stroud, white starting quarterbacks are now the minority. Next year's class will make them even more so of a minority. These people are openly colluding against Shedeur, holding him back. Number 17 of 32. Cam was 16. Milroe is 18. So now they're going to have to be nice to Milroe and Cam so we don't realize it's racism. It's too late for that, buddy. It's too late for that. The draft might be over, but we remember what you did. That's the beauty of video. That's the beauty of all of these articles that the media, whether it's print or whether it's digital, that all of them talked about it incessantly. By process of elimination, we know exactly what you did. And they want to move on and attack Shedeur like they just got one more hill to go over, but they keep exposing themselves and they don't feel no type of retribution. They are locked in and hell-bent on destroying this kid's career. If they got to destroy him itself, they will do it. Kevin Stefanski can't even say Shedeur Sanders' name. Do you know how problematic it is to have somebody who's your boss not be able to say your name? Shedeur Sanders is in hostile territory and enemy number one on the ground, leading the ground effort. against Shedeur Sanders is Kevin Stefanski. They want their guy, let them have it. You don't need to get hurt for them. You don't even need to win for them, bro. They only paying you $4 million anyway. They stuck on stupid. Let them stay there. This is some clan shit. Don't get involved with it. You too good for this. Let them be ignorant in peace. If you injured, don't fight it. You are exactly where God wants you to be. They don't want to give you no reps. You injured throwing, good. We out. One thing they're not going to be able to do is abuse you in peace. They're not going to be able to bury you on the depth chart in peace. We are out here. We are NFL fans. If you don't want Shedeur, you should have never drafted him. Shedeur is not a 5th round pick. Shedeur is a 1st round pick that the owners colluded against and took him off the board because that's what they wanted to do. That is illegal. He never had to be in your draft, but you wanted to exploit him for views. You wanted to humiliate him in front of 7 million people because you hate the fact that he's an elite black quarterback, young, black, and rich. Get over it. If not in the NFL, then he's going to go somewhere else and do it, and we going with him. You don't want him to ball out? Then cut him. You don't want him on your team? Then trade him. But you should have never took him off the board. He's not a 5th round pick. He's a 1st round pick that was colluded against by the owners that took him off the board. That's how you say it. Everybody know he's not a 5th round pick. So let me get in here and see what y'all are saying, because I know y'all have thoughts on this. I know y'all thought some things, you know, about Shedeur being injured, the impact to the game. If the MRI come back and it's conclusive and you can see that he has a severe strain, they could use it to waive him like they did Luke. A severe injury. And it's probably not severe because he would have been huddled over. If it's mild, he will likely miss the game. I consider that God's favor for him because Kevin Stefanski cannot be trusted with Shedeur's career, his safety, his security. I have been saying that since Shedeur landed in Cleveland. Now you see what it is I'm talking about. If it's minimal and it'll heal in 2 days, and hopefully he don't allow any doctor to give him an injection, because there's a doctor that still works for the NFL, for the Chargers, that punctured Tyrod Taylor's lung. And they moved Tyrod Taylor out, stole his QB1 job, and never let him get it back. And that doctor still works there. You cannot trust the Cleveland Browns with Shedeur's safety, security, and his career. So I look at that as a godsend. If it's a strain or an injury, that's not going to hurt him permanently, but it keeps him out of this game. They don't want him. They don't act like they don't need him. Then you know what? Then you don't get to benefit from him. Play your game yourself. But you better find him somewhere to go because you owe him $4 million. Just like he locked in and you think you got him, you can't just cut him and dispose of him. You can't. If he clear waivers and somebody come down on you and you want him back, you're going to have to give him a new contract. This is a win-win for Shedeur Sanders. That's the impact to the injury based on the level of severity. It says Shedeur should leave the NFL. He can't just get up and leave. He can't just get up and leave. That's not going to happen. He can't just get up and leave. It said, is he really injured? Oblique tears take time to heal. Probably. How is he injured and throwing balls? It said no reps. He's injured because they were warming up. He was in practice trying to stay warm. So they were giving everybody reps, leaving Shedeur to be cold while he waits for reps, and he didn't get any. So that's how. The NFL is not worth the bottom of the barrel treatment for black players. I agree. I totally agree with that. Let's go, Shedeur. Yup. It said, this is a setup. I don't believe he's injured at all. The organization will say anything. Well, let's see. I mean, it's true. It's true. It's a lot of injuries happening in Cleveland, and they seem to be directing people's paths. So we shall see. Rewatching the evolution of a black quarterback. I forgot how many times the Cleveland Browns name was mentioned, and not in a good way. Cleveland has an open history of not wanting elite black quarterbacks in the first round. They tried to take their franchise QB in the second round. with drafting Myles Garrett in the first round so people wouldn't think that they were what? They try to do everything to prevent from appearing what they exactly are, racist. Bias, stop using that word. It's not even strong enough to talk about the damage that they are trying to inflict on Shedeur. Hey, Freeman, how you doing? It said, good morning. I was waiting on you. Thank you, Juanita. Good afternoon. These injuries, yeah. So it is, let's see what the MRIs say. Is Shedeur the only one getting MRIs? He is today. I don't think anybody else is injured today. That's why Jalen carried him out. Yeah, Jalen called him to the side so they could talk. Yep. Regina say, I'm so sick of the news. Yep, can't watch it. Dylan Gabriel trying to convince himself. Good luck to him. Good luck to him. Dylan Gabriel doesn't want to play. I wouldn't either. Why the hell would I want to play against the Philadelphia Eagles? Y'all set me up. I told you got to wonder who it is they trying to set up here. It's obviously Barry and Stefanski are playing good cop, bad cop. With the owner, he wasn't my pick. Thank you for clarifying. Thank you for clarifying the collusion. So now it looks like they want to say, well, we'll just say Andrew Barry and Kevin Stefanski are at war. Jalen drove Shedeur to the field house on his golf cart. Okay. I'm glad they talked. So maybe it's medium and he's not going to play this one or the next one. I think he needs an agent and request for a trade. Deshaun Watson requested a trade. He don't need to request for a trade. Why they just can't trade him? They've already proven they don't want him. I wouldn't ask for a trade. For what? Where am I going to go? All 32 teams are the ones that's in on this. The NFL itself is rallying against this young man. What is asking for a trade going to do? What do you think? They just going to let him go and put him at the back of the line? That's what they want. Stay right there. If God don't open that door, no. If his injury is severe enough, they can waive him like they did Luke, right? Okay, then that's freedom. That's freedom. Dylan was 6 of 19 today. How is that acceptable? Well, that's what they want, so let him have it. Let him have it. It said, I'm sick of the Browns. Yup. I didn't know much about this organization myself, honestly, and I know too much. I kept wondering why they fans weren't holding them accountable. There are fans that are holding them accountable, but the many that are not, they like it like that. That's why. That's why the franchise is trash. Because the fan base, some of them, not all, they like it like that. Some of them involved in that Klan shit too. So that's why. That's exactly why. They racist and they want to stay racist and they get upset when people come in with players and don't want to support the team. We supporting the team because the player is on the team. That is asinine to say something like that. That's just looking for a reason to hate on the new people that's coming because they don't want the new people to find out that they racist. That's what they are. That's what they are. And they're openly colluding against this young man, trying to hurt his career. And they're desperate enough to hurt him as an individual. This is not anywhere near about football. This is about race relations. This is about how some people who are not black feel about black people ascending to places of power and influence. How many times did Andrew Barry say the quarterback is the most position in the post-draft press conference, that the part of it that we listened to? Twice. Why do you need to keep saying that? Because that's why they're holding him back. You got to listen to Andrew Barry talk. He's telling you things. He's telling you he was too expensive for the first round. You think that was his idea? No. The owner didn't want to pay Shedeur $46 million because he's a black QB. But he was willing to he got him at 4, and he don't want him now. He wasn't going to pay $46 million for Shedeur in the first round. Like Andrew Barry said, we weren't expecting him to still be there. I don't know why not. The owners, which is one of them, is Haslam, took him off the damn board. They didn't want to pay Shedeur $46 million. And it should sound like this. I ain't paying that $46 million. That's what it sounds like. So they figured, okay, we just take him off the board. That ensured he don't get anywhere near QB1 to get QB1 money. This is about what it's always about when it comes to America, holding a black man back. That's all it's about. If this was a woman's league, I'd say holding a black woman back. 318,000 black women were forced out of their jobs. What you see happening to Shedeur It's happening to all black quarterbacks. I keep telling y'all, this ain't about Coach Prime. This is not specific to Shedeur. You don't hear nobody talking about Shiloh. They know Shedeur Sanders gonna make money off of his jersey. They know Travis Hunter gonna make money off of his jersey. They don't care about Travis Hunter. He ain't the quarterback. Andrew Berry said that at least twice, just on the part that we listened to. That's what matters. That's why they attacking Shedeur, because he's a black quarterback. If he was white, they'd be singing his praises. And they kind of trying to want to be open with it. The owner could come out and say he wasn't my pick, but Kevin Stefanski can't, but he's showing you he's not his pick. That's why he has turned Dylan into a pet. He was even willing to allow his pet to get hurt in the face of Shedeur being held back. So Shedeur's out the way with an injury. Good. Good. We want to be entertained, yes, but not at Shedeur's expense. Absolutely not. I saw enough last week. I can go back and watch the highlights of Shedeur playing in that game. If that's the only NFL game Shedeur plays in, that's the only one I'm watching going forward. Don't be surprised if it comes to that. They do not want this young man to be successful in their league. There is no other team that can get him other than one of the owners, the most powerful owner in the league. The most powerful owner that can go to another one and his little buddies and say, you know what, I'm going to get Shedeur. And if nobody does that and they didn't do it in the draft, it shows you they're all in on it. There's nowhere he can go. He can't ask for a trade. He's locked in. They have pushed him into a corner. This injury is God setting him free, depending on the severity. It's also telling him, you've done enough. Sit down. I got it from here. So as fans, we just going to have to be disappointed that we're not going to see him play and understand that that's for his good and God's glory, and we're going to roll with it. Shedeur was shut down before taking a single snap. Right. From what I heard, nobody could hold on to the ball. The O-line wasn't doing what they were supposed to do. So Kevin Stefanski got the fix in. So, okay. All right. Let him go without him. They don't want him. You ain't got to keep him. You didn't even have to draft him. That's the part here that the NFL and the Cleveland Browns are missing. You know you didn't have to draft him, right? You know he could have went to Canada. Why you draft him? See, that's trying to manipulate him. That's trying to hoard talent that you don't want. Imagine, somebody don't want you with the competing company, so they go and they get you and they want to kick you every day and lock you in a corner so nobody don't get you because they know you're good. It's just that you're black, so I don't want you to win for me. That's what the NFL is doing. Shedeur Sanders is a first-round elite QB who the owners colluded against and took off the board to restrict his movement on where he would play and how much money he would make. That is illegal. It is a violation of the Sherman Antitrust Act. It is called collusion, which is illegal in the United States. They keep wanting to duck and dodge collusion against these players. Well, guess what? They done it again. And this time, there's no arbitration. This has nothing to do with a player filing a grievance. It's the fans. And they want to keep playing in the fans' places, the faces of the fans who support this young man. Well, then let's go. Let's go. You want to go to war with your fans? Let's go. Understand, the world is watching. They're bringing more and more attention every time they try to humiliate or restrict his movement. They are openly colluding in Cleveland because they don't want Shedeur Sanders to be a successful black quarterback and win with the Cleveland Browns. So now they're going to be forced to go out here and get Lenore Sellers, who's black, and put him out there. So you're going to end up with a black starting quarterback anyway. So it's all for nothing. And Shedeur Sanders is going to go on and be successful, and you're going to make his daddy start his own league. And that's what needs to happen anyway. So there's no downside for Shedeur. None. I hope Shedeur doesn't play. Let Dylan play right. Dylan, that's what I meant. I agree with you, Juanita. I feel like God is like, we good, you good. Sit down, sit down, sit down. I got it. Let me do it. This is what needs to happen. This is what needs to happen. Let it happen. It says Shedeur has the power. Shedeur has proven who he is. We don't need Shedeur to play. Right, B. Thomas? That's exactly how I feel. They were so busy talking about, oh, Shedeur gonna get a ton of reps in the game. I don't know what you was planning on, but God said no. And somebody better tell Shedeur or go tell Bucky, don't let Shedeur get no injection from any of their doctors for pain. Just stick it out. Get your Tylenol. It'll be all right. Don't let them treat you for shit. You'll be missing a damn arm. I'm glad Shedeur reached out to Jalen Hurts and made it off the field with him. Yeah. It said, who was on the sideline, Jay? What's that first name? Was on the sidelines in intimate conversation before Shedeur was driven off the field. Okay, good. Jalen. Okay, thank you. It said we threw the entire league. Right. All Stefanski is doing is shining a light on the entire NFL. And that, make no mistake about it, Shedeur Sanders, who the NFL projected to be the first round, who is proven to be not an NFL-ready QB, Shedeur Sanders has a QB passer rating that puts him in company with Pat Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. And this is who they want to hold back. Because this is about race. And Kevin Stefanski's hard-headedness is exposing it. It's like he's stuck on stupid until the truth comes out. Well, so be it. Yes, Jalen was interviewed and he told them it was a private conversation. Right. Right. So you see how they coming for Miles. They got so much to say about Miles. They say Miles got 8 speeding tickets. The police ain't worried about it. Probably because he ain't the only one got speeding tickets. What did I say? Oh, they going to come for Miles. And Joku waiting on an extension. Let's see if he get it. This is why Jerry Jeudy wouldn't talk, because the owner is ruling with fear, because Kevin Stefanski is ruling with fear. These are the same elements that had a congressional hearing, that were findings in a congressional hearing with the Washington Commanders in December of 2022, and that owner was forced to sell the team. So if that is where this is going, let's go, because that's what needs to happen. The culture in Cleveland is toxic. It's racist. Haslam needs to be forced to sell. Getting a new president in his sports group ain't going to do it. Cleveland needs some new fans if the current fans they have enjoy the racism. Shedeur might be cut for at least a week with his injury. If it's serious, he could be, and that's probably what needs to happen. Again, if that's what happens with this, then look at it as God opening the door to set Shedeur free from the NFL with their toxic racism. Kevin Stefanski, Haslam, and Barry, who choose to co-sign it, the fan base down there, who seemingly half want to embrace and half want to see him get hurt. Then this is God rescuing him, and we're going to roll with whatever it is. And next to the season, he'll be somewhere in Canada, and we'll be watching. Screw the NFL. Screw the NFL. They're not the only league around. Hell, Shedeur can go to the damn XFL or the UFL, whatever it is. He can start a whole flag football league, and we're going to watch it. They think they trying to hold him back and smother his career like they've done so many others. No, you got the wrong one, boo. No, you know what? In fact, you got the right one. You got the right one. They didn't make Shedeur so they can't break him. They claimed they didn't want him before the combine, but they trotted him out for views so they could talk about him every day, so they could humiliate him every day, so they can exact their little plan they came up with around the Vegas Super Bowl, which is why they pigeonholed Charles Woodson to Cleveland and why they targeted Shedeur to Cleveland so they could do this exact thing. Kevin Stefanski want his pick that he done turned into a pick, then roll with it. And Shedeur can be moved on elsewhere. He can go to a different league. Hell, one can spring up out the air. Finally, maybe black players can get together and rally around themselves and start their own league. Or he can go make another league be great. Shedeur Sanders does not need the NFL. He does not. Evolution happens. It's time for something new. The only way the racism in NFL is going to die is if fans go find something else to watch. Yes, Kevin doesn't even want to call his name. Right. That's crazy. That's crazy. He can't even say the man's name. That's why I'm like, oh, Shedeur is in hostile enemy territory. They can't look at you, shake your hand, or say your name. Oh, you in trouble. They gonna do you in. So it's good that in practice, he's out. What did I say yesterday? I said, if Shedeur get hurt in this game, it is not a coincidence. God knew what was coming around the corner. He can't get no reps to get better in practice, but yet he gonna get a lot of reps in the game. He was gonna set him up. Kevin Stefanski was gonna set Shedeur up just like he did in that Panthers game. But he knows this is the number one defense. So Shedeur could have got hurt even worse. We'll take the oblique injury, and Shedeur can sit on the side, and they can do what the hell they want to do. When people show you who you are, don't fight them. Don't fight them. Let them have whatever they want. We don't want you. Cool. Go do it yourself. Dylan Gabriel looked terrified. He should be because he don't have Shedeur to carry the weight. He good. Let him go out there and play. They said he's injured with an oblique. Stefanski planned on starting Shedeur without any first-team reps. Right. And putting him out there against the Super Bowl champs with the 4th and 1 or something just as egregious to make sure he gets sacked. They said the O-line wasn't good today. They said that they weren't catching the balls. I'm like, Lord, have mercy. All right. Shedeur was pissed when he got off the bus. Kevin holding him back. Yep. He looked pretty good when he got off the bus. He looked confident. I do feel like when I saw his facial expression at some point, I was looking at different images. You could see just like before when he was out, you could kind of see that, something was happening. Yeah, he got to be careful. I'm tired of Kevin. It's hard to imagine that he's this ignorant. I don't know why. I told y'all about races. I told the story. Go watch the video a couple of days ago toward the end. I'm telling you, as a NOLA girl, I am telling you, it is irrational, but they mean it. They mean it. They said there must be more to this situation. There's absolutely no more, Freeman, than other than Shedeur is a black QB. They didn't want to pay him first-round money. They don't want him to be his franchise QB. They buried him on the depth chart, foolishly thinking that would prevent him from developing. They really thought that. They really thought that. They act like they didn't play college ball and don't know the only difference is the playbook and your work ethic. They really thought that. They thought burying him. See, the owners took him off the board, which pushed him from 1st to 5th. That was supposed to wrangle him in and label him a 5th-round QB because they knew Cleveland would follow the script. And they are. Kevin Stefanski is the leader. Kevin Stefanski is the leader. So they foolishly felt like he wouldn't get any first-team reps so we can hide behind the fact that we can't start him. That was the plan. We can't start him. Then we all showed up. It started with OTAs. Everybody wanting to see. They were holding him out and not using him to practice. But Kevin Stefanski was going to put him in the game and set him up. Not to fail, to get hurt. That 4th and 1 play was intended for Shedeur to get hurt against the first team with Carolina's best defense. Now they want to say he won against 2nd and 3rd string defense. No, he didn't. He played against their first team. He balled out against their first team. He managed to huddle against their first team. The NFL is against Shedeur. The NFL, when I say all 32 teams are in on it, let me be clear. All 32 teams are in on it, which is why nobody's calling for a trade. If he get put on waivers, he likely gone. And I'm fine with that. Shedeur does not need the NFL. They want him to need the NFL, and he doesn't. They didn't want him. They shouldn't have pursued him. They shouldn't have drafted him. That means they did all of this under false pretenses. And he got magically dropped off in Cleveland because they knew Cleveland would get the job done. With Stefanski leading the ground attack against Shedeur Sanders. Lawyers for Shedeur should be swarming right now. Thank you, Kane. It said Jalen Hurts was talking to Shedeur after practice for a while. He was probably letting him know what's up. Yeah, he was letting him know. This is what Shedeur needs. I told y'all, this is not about his dad, and he needs to know that. And these veterans are going to tell him, this ain't about your pops. This happened to me. This happened to Russell Wilson. It's happening to Kyler Murray. It's happening to all of us. I hope Shedeur get a call from Colorado that said your oblique hurts. Yeah, I don't know. It could. Robin workout. It said trade Shedeur. To where? To where? They all in on it. When you say the NFL is standing against Shedeur, I'm talking about all 32 owners who would not allow their GMs to draft him because they couldn't, because he wasn't available. Shedeur was in the 5th round because the owners took him off the board after they locked him out of the 1st round. These people openly colluded in the draft, and they trying to openly collude in Cleveland. All right. There should have been a field goal, 4th and 1. Facts. Yeah. That's ridiculous. He's trying to set Shedeur up to get hurt. He can't stop him. He can't hold him back. They're even using the language of what's going on. We're obsessed with player development. Albert Breer's coming out. Oh, it's only a preseason game. Calm down and let him be a rookie. Well, you know what? Locking a player into a contract works both ways. You locked him into that poultry contract, and guess what's happening in exchange? The world is finding out how racist the NFL and the Cleveland Browns are. Because everybody didn't know. Not to this extent that they were willing to set you up to get hurt, to rob you and hit your pockets. All people saw before with Colin Kaepernick is he took a knee and they didn't like the way it looked. Oh, it's way worse than that. Nobody ever questioned why they were upset that a black man would want to step up in support of the black people. Now you see. Now you see with the iron fist that is clearly running through the halls and the Cleveland Browns that Jerry Jeudy was scared to even say Shedeur's name. And be honest, how Flacco Jeudy is forced to share a locker with Flacco. He knew they were telling him to be allegiant to. That's what that was about. So see, Shedeur, what they did to Shedeur is exposing what's really going on. All you knew with Kaepernick, and they didn't want him to kneel. It was this, it was that. See right here, this is running it back. And since they done locked them into a contract and they're being exposed, it's up to the fans. Because they don't fear the courts. They don't fear nobody else. It's up to the fans. And God, so let's see what happened. Shedeur on the side, let's see what happened. Because at right now, I'm just watching to see what God has done because it's already planned out. It's already planned out. Shedeur being injured, I said it was going to happen, but it happened instead of the game. It happened before the game. Why? So he don't get hurt in the game. Whether it's fake or real, I don't give a damn. It's protection for him. Because anytime you talking about you're obsessed with player development, when the media is obsessed with one of your players that you're not even developing, and you want to beat your chest and say what? You want to beat your chest and say, oh, he's going to get plenty of reps against Philly. But then you hold him out for practice and he don't get any reps in practice. You're setting him up. And you're telling certain people who understand what's going on the inside, you're setting him up. This is no different than the NFL sending out Shedeur Sanders' phone number to 2,000 people who did not need to know. They all knew what was going to happen. So when Shedeur gets no first-team reps, but Kevin Stefanski says, oh, he's going to get plenty of first-team reps in the game, they all knew what was going to happen. And God said no. No. So we're going to have to find somebody else to watch. We got other buffs playing. We can start with whoever playing at 1 o'clock against Shedeur. I will update the calendar. We'll talk about it tonight. Whoever is playing opposite Shedeur's time, Shedeur on the bench, good. Let's watch them. Hopefully his discerning spirit has already told him or through the voice of Jalen Hurts, if you injured, just be injured. I said the same thing about Anthony Richardson. I said Anthony Richardson got hurt. They want Daniel Jones to get out there in front of him because they don't want Anthony Richardson to be the starting QB. Then put Daniel Jones out there. I said it. Anthony Richardson, if you hurt, just be hurt, bro. Don't fight it. So he fought it and came back, and then they dislocated his pinky because his O-line didn't protect for him. Hell no, they're not finna hurt Shedeur. Hurt in practice is protection. And nobody else did it. It just magically happened. That's God. Don't question it. Let's move on. Let's move on. It said, I'm so over. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep, it is. This is war. This is war. This is war. And Shedeur said it a long time ago. This is spiritual warfare, and it is, but it is playing out in the physical realm. If you understand things, you know there's a bigger picture. You know there's silos. You know there's certain people who are not living in reality. You know that there are people who don't want to see a black quarterback throw the football every Sunday because he's black. They don't want him to make $46 million. They don't even care if he make $4 million. They're going to bury him on the depth chart because it's the most important position on the team. Stefanski said that. Barry said that multiple times. That's why they're holding Shedeur back from the most important position on the team. This is racism. And they're going to find fans to align with. Okay, fine. I don't see them keeping Target propped up. Black people spend $12 million a day at Target. That's why that boycott was successful. This is about playing keep away with the most important position for Shedeur Sanders. And they going just like the Giants, who still got Russell Wilson over there, even though they didn't want a black quarterback. This ain't going to work out. So just sit down. Don't be what I said to Anthony Richardson. If you hurt, just be hurt. But then he want to get back to his spot because he know they trying to take it. Don't fight it. Let it go. He gets back out there. And they're like, oh, okay, you want to get back out here. His O-line don't protect for him. He dislocates a damn pinky. Don't fight these people. They don't want you. Then go somewhere else. Start your own league. That's what needs to happen. They probably waive him if the injury is worse than it looks like. Good, that he could go start his own league. Because if his daddy can start a league, hell, so can Shedeur and some of his other football friends. I'm like, I'm sorry. He's already rich. So it ain't like you're going to be homeless. A lot of these guys, if they don't get paid, their situation might be in dire straits. That's not Shedeur. That's not Shedeur. Dylan was 6 of 19. Well, that's what they want. Let him have it. And that's what you need to do. Let him have it. So this injury sideline Shedeur, he's 6 and 19. Put him out there. It needs to happen. Dylan want to sign up to be a pet? Because I'm sorry. I'm be like, you're not doing this to me. See, this is no different than the WNBA and Caitlin Clark. It's no different. It's no different, right? She was out more than half the season, and they still made her captain, trying to hold and hide Angel Reese. Well, Angel Reese is injured. She might be back now. Shit, I stopped watching. When she gone, I'm gone. And they typically lose fans when it happens. She's injured. They're saying her coach is doing the same thing to her. I'm like, that's why they hired him, and he's black. But the coach that they had last year, the woman, she was doing the same thing. See, they put black people to pit black people against each other to hold each other back. No, to clear the path so they can put somebody white in there. When we were talking about the WNBA for the short time this season, I decided that ain't gonna happen. What did I say? Why the hell are they 2-6? Because he had Angel Reese on the bench, giving somebody else playing time, and what happened? That person got hurt. So Shedeur, sit down. Don't fight for nothing. Yeah, they don't want me to be QB1. No, they don't. And God got you this far. He ain't gonna drop you off and leave you. Sit down. Sit down. You sideline with the injury. It's for your good and God's glory. Sit down. Let this play out. Because the last thing he needed to do was get into a game after not being developed, being allowed to practice and put out against a Super Bowl winning team. Sit down. Just sit down. I was told Standard didn't get any reps today. Oh, I think you're saying Shedeur didn't get any reps today because he's injured. It's both things. He was practicing, he didn't get any reps, then he got injured. That's what it is. Are you monetized? Yeah, but maybe not for long. Don't forget, I'm on Patreon. So all the QBs are injuries with the Browns. Right. Exactly. That needs to be investigated by itself. They don't want us to see Shedeur versus Dylan because there's no coming back for that. They don't want Shedeur to be a part of their team. They already said yesterday through Albert Breer, the Browns are more comfortable in the regular season starting Dylan over Shedeur. So they're going into the Philly game with the way they want to go into the season, with Dylan and Flacco and Pickett. They're saying the Eagles defense held the Browns offense. Yep. The Browns offense didn't look good today. Let Dylan play so everyone can see how he is. Right. They done turned him into a pet. They done put all this pressure on his head. I'm like, this is the craziest situation ever because this is Philadelphia. Let the others step up. Facts, you did your job. I'm like, again, I said it. There's nothing Shedeur can do. He won. I said that before he won. Then not only did he won in stellar fashion. And I read that y'all were what I read from that had Jackson Dart in front of Shedeur. That was an NFL publication. I was like, okay, so the NFL is still on ABS. They trying to hold his kid back. Yeah. Why you draft him? So he don't go nowhere else. Why you don't cut him? Are you serious? Where he gonna go? To another team and they might put him out there? They can control the situation with Shedeur in Cleveland. That's why he magically ended up in Cleveland. Look at how trash the organization is. Look at how far they're willing to go to hurt a starting quarterback. They don't even care about winning. That ought to be an issue for their fans. So let this game play out. And if Shedeur is injured, he injured. If he get out there and play, he gonna ball out. Let the others step up and play. Kevin will not prevail. This is for Shedeur's protection. Yeah. Yes, watch the meeting earlier. He won't even call Shedeur's name. Right. It said like it was hard to come out of his mouth. Right. As long it said all things work for good. If you have to sit out Saturday, so be it. Exactly. And don't question it. Don't question it. I knew when Anthony Richardson O-line didn't protect him, I said they gonna hurt him to get him the hell out the way. Now it's Shedeur's turn. And getting Shedeur hurt. Stefanski intended to hold Dylan Gabriel back and play Shedeur instead, knowing he has not been properly prepared. Amen. God has protected Shedeur. Facts. Don't even question the injury. Don't even question it. When God delays or redirects, it's for your good and God's glory. This is for Shedeur's good and God's glory. Don't question it. We just gonna find something else to watch. Hey, Chocolate, how you doing? How you doing? It says we play chess. We play chess over here. Yeah. Trade Shedeur. I don't know where they're going to trade him to. They all in on it. Kevin Stefanski. Yep. He definitely is that, Miss Pamela. Yep. He definitely is that. Anybody that puts in a work bio, they are a servant leader, is a servant leader of something other than that organization because this is a job. If you take your job that seriously, you have an allegiance to something else. You are the servant leader of something else. And we see what it is. It said God will handle all of this nonsense. Facts. It said now Shedeur is injured. This is disgusting. He's the number one rookie QB in the league. Right. And I told y'all they can't have that because it proves it opens the door to ask the questions. But the media is doing a fine job of calling Shedeur a fifth-round pick. Buddy's a fifth-round pick. They trying to drive it home. And the fans are like, it's falling on deaf ears. Shedeur Sanders is a first-round pick that the owners took off the board and let fall, which was cruelty amidst humiliation. That's what they should be saying. And that's what y'all should be saying. He was a first-round pick that the owners decided to take off the board and let fall, which was cruelty amidst humiliation. That's what it is. It hits different, don't it? Maybe that's why Kevin had that look on his face. He probably had to boss up on Kevin to make that pick. Could be. It said this is too much. Yep, it's a lot. This is war. WAR. Understand, this is war. Kevin has been given full reign to muddy up the QB battle. Absolutely. You get the crown for the day, A. Wilson. Shedeur is being isolated and in a hostile environment. There we go. That's it. That's the takeaway from practice today. You get the crown, A. Wilson. That's it. That is it. Summed up nicely. Kevin has been given full reign to muddy up this QB battle, which is fake. Shedeur is being isolated and he's in a hostile environment. Like I said, somebody better come get him. And I'm not talking about one of the other teams because they don't want to either. They are all in on 17 of 32. All of these owners feel the same way, whether they want to or not. This is not just happening to Shedeur. When you see them being nice to Cam and you see them being nice to Milroe and changing their tune, it's so they don't appear what? That's so you can think it's personal about Shedeur. Shedeur has done nothing wrong. What did Gage say? People naturally gravitate towards Shedeur. They hate that. That means the ruling with the iron fist isn't working. Because even Jerry Jeudy came out and said something. They want to hurt Shedeur to have Dylan throwing the Gage. Shedeur don't care like that. He want Gage to win. He want Gage to shine. Hell, I hope Gage get traded somewhere and is allowed to play. But even Gage said it. Yeah, we all know in the back of our minds we won't be here. That is so the right attitude to have. That means they can't get you. They might think keeping Shedeur out the game is going to hurt him. Then again, they might be pissed he can't play. Because if they want him to play, it's for the wrong reasons. So this is guy protection for him. Don't even question it. Trade him to where? Where you going to trade him to? What team he going to go to? The only team he can go to would require one of the 32 owners who are incestuously close to break the circle of collusion and go get him. And it ain't but one person that have that kind of power. And y'all know who it is. Jerry Jones. Stefanski couldn't hardly answer the damn questions the reporters were asking him. Yep, because he know he would get guilty. But he want to be a servant leader. Then you serving the wrong. You ain't serving God. That's facts, bro. You serving something else, but it ain't God, and it ain't going in. This is not going to end well. This is not going to end well for Kevin Stefanski. This is not going to end well. He has chosen to serve something that is not God. That's all I'm going to say. I'm fine with him being put on waivers. Yep. Me too, because he get to get hell away from that poultry-ass contract. Yep. Now, it's true. The question is, will he get his money for his jersey sales? So, okay, let me explain this, because I think there's a lot of misconception around here. All right. There is revenue sharing in the NFL. The owners have it, right? The owners share revenue for media rights. Whatever the check is, they split it up amongst 32 teams, okay? And the owners get about, on average, I heard the media rights deal is about $250 million. And if you notice, the NFL has gone from stations like ABC, CBS, to Fox, to YouTube, to streaming platforms, their own NFL network that they have sold to ESPN, and what? Amazon, and now Netflix. That means the media right deals, they're opening it up to a more diversified audience so they can get more money. So those media, they care about that $250 million. They don't care about the $250 million that Shedeur got in, because that doesn't go to one team. That is also divided up amongst 32 teams. Shedeur is not the only player who gets a percentage of jersey sales. Every player in the NFL gets a percentage of jersey sales. Travis Hunter, the second highest selling jersey, gets a percentage. Hell, Gage, if he got a jersey and fans want to go out there and buy it. It's Shiloh. If people want to buy his 28, he gets that too. This is not specific. Nothing that's happening is specific to Shedeur. The jersey sales is just an NFL revenue sharing. They have it for players, all players. So if they waive him, will he get his standard percentage? And the percentage is undisclosed. It could be 1%. It could be 2%. It could be 10%. It might be 3%. It could be 2.5%. Nobody knows what it is, supposedly, because it's not public information. So everybody is guesstimating. So let's talk about the impact. We talked about the impact to the game with Shedeur's injury, right? Shedeur is injured. If it's severe, he could get waived just like Gage. If it is mild, he'll miss the game. If it is light and something that can heal in 2 days, then if an MRI says that, then they're going to put him out there so he can play. Now we're talking about what happens if he gets waived. The impact to Shedeur getting waived from Cleveland. He'll be set free of the tyranny. He'll be set free of the toxicity. If he's on waivers for more than 24 hours, which means you clear waivers, you're no longer a player in the NFL, another team can make you an offer. He can get a new contract. I just said the upside to Gage, a player that came in undrafted or walk-on, who the team was impressed with and preferred to ball out, and he was good. Instead of the poultry contract he had at the level he came in, if they're going to elevate him over Deontay Johnson to wide receiver 3, first string, he'll get a better contract because he cleared waivers, which takes 24 hours. Shedeur is now injured. The same process. If it's severe, they can put Shedeur on waivers. If they put Shedeur on waivers for any reason and he clears waivers after 24 hours, he can get a new contract if another team is interested. I don't know why people keep saying he can go on the practice squad. Yes, that is an option, but that ain't going to happen. That's not going to happen. You can't force a person to the practice squad. If that's the case, they could have just put Luke on the practice squad. They have to make an injury settlement. So once an injury settlement is discussed, if Luke agrees, he can come back to the team at a designated date. I don't know why you would cut somebody like that, why you just wouldn't rehab them. So now it's Shedeur's turn. Clears waivers, they would have to come up with the same, a settlement injury, which means you can come back to the team at a certain agreed upon date. That's it. Or you're out for the season. If another team comes along and wants to pick you up and make you an offer, you can take it. You can get a new contract. You still gonna have your revenue sharing when they sell your jersey with the 2 on it. There is no downside to Shedeur being injured other than the pain he's experiencing. Hopefully it's mild and keeps him out the game because he's proven enough. They're so confident with the other quarterbacks, they're not asking them to prove anything. It's now time for them to prove. This is supposed to be an audition for everybody. You don't see anybody calling for Shedeur because all 32 teams are standing against him, whether they want to or not. Who are the ringleaders of collusion amongst the owners? I don't know. You probably will be surprised. But the point is, the others have chosen to collude. It doesn't matter if they wanted to or not. They chose to collude. If you in a car with some people that committed a crime and you know they committed a crime, you going to jail too, right? Because you chose this. You knew what time it was and you decided to do it anyway. You knew there were consequences. You didn't think you was going to get caught. You going to get locked up too. The NFL has decided to stand against the player they colluded against in the draft. Shedeur is not a 5th round QB. They know this. This has been said out of their own mouths. The NFL projected him 1st round QB. So the impact is, if he gets waived, good. He can move the hell on. He can move on. And whatever moving on looks like, it's Shedeur's choice. And as fans who want him to get traded, you have to understand, they all want him to fail. That's why they colluded against him in the draft. That's why they sent him to Cleveland, so he could fail. They haven't changed their minds. They're not going to change their minds. I said a couple of days ago, I don't see this changing anytime soon. It's not. It's getting worse. He's now in physical danger. There's not much left that they could do. So let Dylan play. Yeah, let him play. Let him play. They don't care about their fans. The league don't care about its fans and what its fans want to see, and winning and losing, they don't care. This is some bull crap. Yep. They said, hope it's not a severe oblique injury. It could be season ending. Yeah, well, that might not be a bad thing. It would also be career ending in the NFL, and that, again, is not a bad thing. It says Shedeur will be protected. Yep, Shedeur is definitely being protected. I see this. I don't give a damn how it happened. I'm this kind of person. Oh, I see God all over this. Protecting Shedeur, because I said it yesterday. I said if Shedeur get hurt in this game, it is not an accident. It is not a coincidence. That's probably what was going to happen. We see God opening doors for Shedeur, right? Why wouldn't he protect him? That's what this is. It just, you got injured before the game, so you don't get in the game and they end your career. Because that's what they're trying to do. If I don't want you to succeed, then I'm obviously going to do something to make sure your career ends. I don't even want you around because all they're going to do is talk about you. So I got to get you out of here. So let's see what happens. Kevin Stefanski should be fired. In case you missed it, Kevin Stefanski should be fired. I've been saying this for days, and it's even more so now. He can't say his name. He's not nurturing Shedeur. He's not developing Shedeur. He is consistently, since the last game, putting Shedeur in harm's way, not allowing him to practice, but want him to get out and play, calling suspect rogue plays that are 4th and 1s, which should be a run or a field goal, and not a pass play where number 74 blows his coverage and the whole first team of the Carolina Panthers is laying on Shedeur. He is setting him up to get hurt. We are past setting him up to fail. You could check that box off. He's setting him up to get hurt. He should be fired. And any damn lawyers that exist for Shedeur Sanders, a law firm of Sanders, and Sanders, should be not only sending out cease and desist, but they should be swarming the Cleveland Browns. There's nothing to lose here except for his health. Jalen had Shedeur in that cart and drove him to the locker room after having an intimate conversation with Shedeur. That's good. That's good. Kim B said ridiculous. They come up with a whole bunch of lies to keep all of these players from playing for whatever their reasons are, and all your quarterbacks getting injured, and then one is just old, right? What they're doing with the injuries is directing their path. They think they're God. So we're going to take Pickett out because Shedeur was looking better than Pickett. Shedeur's numbers and Pickett's numbers were about the same when Pickett, if not better, when Pickett got hurt. Then Shedeur is out here. Dillon looks like trash, unfortunately. 3-14. Come on now. You damaging his trade value. See, Shedeur, they should be protecting Shedeur so they can trade him because that's why you wanted him, right? He was going to be trade capital, whether it was in the draft or in the season. Oh, I'm sorry. That was Andrew Berry's goal. Kevin Stefanski's goal is to ruin him, to destroy him, to harm him, to hurt him. I'll stand 10 toes down on it. At this point, you send me a cease and desist, you're going to get a summons to show up in court because we got time. That's what you're going to get from me. So choose carefully. It said, I bet Dillon won't play if he's done. He won't stay in long. Flacco and Pickett. Yep. They're going to try to minimize his exposure. And you know what? I don't care. That's between the Browns media, the Browns fans, and the overall media and NFL fans if they want to put up with this BS. I don't really care. They don't want my guy, so okay. I'm going to go watch the other ones while he healed from an oblique injury. They're not even trying to preserve his trade value. They're trying to set Shedeur up like he's trash. Understand, if he traded, they really kind of can't trade him. If he's kind of injured, they really can't you can't trade him. You can cut him, but you can't trade him. Normally, you got to pass the physical on the other side or the trade don't go through. So if it's severe, yep, they can waive him. But again, that's freedom for Shedeur. Jalen would not tell them what he said. Right. And he don't have to. And that's why I like Jalen. And y'all saw how they treated him. They trash him every day. They trying to control these black quarterbacks because they don't want them to come to the top. It gives the impression, and it does. It gives the impression with the black quarterbacks, they want to whip you into submission. They don't want you to get to the most important position on the team. So are you out here whipping into submission to white QBs? You out here controlling them too? No, you letting them live their lives. You're letting them live their lives while you're harsh against Shedeur for a speeding ticket after you inflicted damage upon him. They desperate. I said it last night. And the desperate is going to be ratcheted up even more so. Because if I can't get him injured in a game and he's still around and you know, you could just trade him. But you see that ain't happening. And you see nobody asking for it. It's just exposing and confirming collusion in Cleveland, collusion in the NFL. The light is bright. Everybody sees it. More and more people are paying attention. Whatever evil they had planned for him in that game, seemed like God said no. That's what it looks like. It says Shedeur needs to sit. Yep. Shedeur got to be very careful in Cleveland. He got to be very careful in Cleveland. This is why I say Shedeur needs to learn the history of black NFL quarterbacks. Hit the like button for me, 456 people. Thank you. Welcome. Hit the like button. Show some love. Thank you. Shedeur Sanders has to be very careful. If I could say if he get injured in this game, it's not an accident, and that he can't even come to the game because he's injured, that is for his protection, because it was going to be worse in the game. It could have been not just season ending, career ending, but because that plan is now foiled. Because not giving you reps isn't holding you back. I can't put you in the game to make you look bad or to have you to get hurt, and I still got to get you. I ain't finished my mission. Kevin Stefanski describes himself as a servant leader. We are talking about a job here. How many of you put that you are servant leaders of your job place, your workplace? That's way different, right? And he's acting like a servant leader. That's what he's acting like. He wasn't talking about God. He clearly is not doing the Lord's work. He's chosen to let the devil use his life for toilet paper. And he gonna pay for it. He's gonna pay for it. Shedeur is hurt. I'm hoping for a speedy recovery. I'm not. I hope he heals well. It don't need to speed up. May God's will be done. That's what you need to be praying for. Shedeur don't need to speed up to run into toxicity. Look what happened to Anthony Richardson when he sped up his recovery, got back out there, held the O-line, let him get sacked, and he dislocated his pinky. You need your hand to throw as a football player. I'm just saying. No. May God's will be done, because that's what's being done, and we want to continue it to be done. Shedeur needs all the protection he can get. He is in danger. If they was going to hurt you on the field, they will hurt you off the field. If he misses a week with this injury, he's going to stay QB4, and it might be on injured reserve. Well, okay. He'll just go over there with Deshaun Watson. Maybe that's why Deshaun Watson out there practicing, so he can come back. He needs to hire Jalen's agent, which is a black woman. Why? It didn't help Jalen Milroe. What's it going to help him do? They must like her, so then they're going to be nice to him. Do you not see the problem with that? No. What do you need an agent for at this point? The contract is already signed. He's not asking for a trade. Shedeur said, Cleveland is home for me. This is home. No, he's not going nowhere until they kick him out and let him do it. That's what they need to do. You don't open the door that God opened for you. You don't close it. You stay there and let God's glory happen. And then you walk through the door he opened for you, and it's going to be better than the one you had before. I told y'all the other day, I don't see how this gets no better. It's not. It's getting worse. It said Shedeur was pissed when he got off the bus. He didn't look upset to me, Amber. He didn't look upset. He looked confident. He looked like he wasn't going to let nobody stop him. When I saw him, I was like, oh, he looking confident today. He looking like he coming in to go to work. That's what it looked like to me. Jaden is a good guy. Jaden stepped in to speak encouragement within this situation. All QB veterans can clearly see the unfairness. All players see the unfairness. Everybody, the equipment managers, everybody sees the unfairness towards Shedeur, just like they saw it in the draft. Did they do anything about it? No. So yes, Jalen Hurts is a good guy. Facts. Because he's been through it. Jalen Hurts' experience is different from Kirk Cousins. They made it harder for Jalen Hurts. They put him behind the pen coming out of college because he had self-worth enough to leave Nick Saban's Alabama, who benched Jalen. Jalen leaves there and go to Oklahoma and balls out. That's like Baker Mayfield leaving Cleveland and going to Tampa and balling out, who also had a QBR rating similar to Shedeur's at 106 or 108, which meant Baker Mayfield himself was being held back. What's the difference? Do you see them mistreating Baker Mayfield, trying to humiliate Baker Mayfield? Maybe Stefanski didn't want to develop Baker Mayfield, but he didn't push him out the QB1 spot. That's the difference. When people say they do this to all QBs, absolutely not. What they are doing to Shedeur is egregious, it's intentional, and it's intended to harm, be it emotional or physical. It's intended to harm. And that's problematic. Kevin Stefanski should be fired. And that's it. So we're gonna get out of here and get ready for later. Shedeur Sanders is in a place. He already said before now that there's nothing he could do. And it's not. They seem hell-bent on not just holding him back. We're way past them holding him back. They seem hell-bent on harming Shedeur Sanders. We're way past setting up to fail. Now we're setting up to do harm. We're setting up to injure. We're setting up to hurt. We picking up where we left off with 4th and 1, first quarter, 8 minutes and 12 seconds. A play designed to fail, and the sacks to harm, to injure. Make no mistake about it. So we're going to get out of here, guys. This was great engagement. I appreciate it, but I don't really care for the reason. Again, this is war. This is war, and the Cleveland Browns have chosen to fight off the fans that they have that want to win. They are fighting against the media that they have that want to win. They are hell-bent on keeping Shedeur away from the most important position on the team. If they wanted him at that, they would have drafted him at number 2, like they pursued him about, right? But, the owners made sure that didn't happen. Haslam is an owner, made sure that didn't happen, and pushed him down to a place where they thought he could never emerge from there. And because he is, and they think people are obsessed with Shedeur, rather than admit that he can win for them, that although they didn't want him, now that you have him, capitalize off of it. No, they're willing to hurt him at this point. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the point where they are willing to harm their star quarterback because they don't want him to hold the most important position on the team, the winning QB. That's not who they want to win with. I'll see y'all tonight, 10:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for the latest regarding Kevin Stefanski's war and the Cleveland Browns' war against their franchise QB, Shedeur Sanders QB1. All right, I'll see y'all later tonight. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for watching What She Said Sports. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Be sure to join our daily live stream and listen up to What She Said Sports on the go on Spotify. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Stay for another video.